It's fascinating to see throughout history times when people were able to really connect with other humans, like on that, like whether it's through movie or film or cars or whatever. It's like maybe it was the psychedelics or whatever, I don't know, but there was a huge disconnect, it seemed like, after the 70s with all of that. Things kind of went off, and it's interesting even now. Like I see a lot of the new movies coming out. They're all just sort of remakes of. They're like a reconceptualization of something that's happened 15 years ago. There's not a lot of like new stuff out there for people to connect with.
Yeah, Matt Damon did this conversation about why it's so much more difficult to make movies now. There's no DVD sales anymore, and it was very interesting, and it kind of makes sense. I think it's really hard to finance those fucking things, and you want a guaranteed success. What's a guaranteed success? You need a superhero. People like superheroes, and if your superhero is trans, even better. You could figure out a way to make it every ethnicity inside the group of superheroes that are there. Perfect. Now we're good. Yeah. Now we need CGI. We need aliens, explosions.
Yeah, I think CGI is a blessing and a curse because, like, I don't know, some of the best film, it doesn't necessarily have the best stunts or you can tell where some of it's fabricated, but that's okay because the whole thing's a fabrication going into it. It's just about like being able to believe the story within it. That's what's important, even like I'm not a huge movie guy, and I guess it's difficult for me to sit 3 hours and watch something straight. My mind's already long gone within the first 30 minutes doing something else. But Star Wars was really partial to me growing up. And I don't think they'll ever touch the original series, even though, like you can tell some of it, like even with some of the renovations they've done on the newer versions of it, like to adding CGI into the old films, it's like just the story of the originals to me meant a lot more than the newer stuff, just because of you don't believe it looking at it with your eyes as much, but you believe it more with your mind, like listening to what it has to tell you,
I think that Star Wars is like generational wealth. Like the original guy who started the company was a bad motherfucker. That guy was out there grinding. He was selling soap out of the back of a wagon in 1890. But the folks who inherited the company 3, 4, and 5 generations in, they're kind of flat. It's different. When I watch Star Wars now, it's like a bunch of stuff happening. It's still fun. They're still good. I enjoy them.
Yeah.
But Star Wars won in the context of whatever year it was. What was it, 77 or something like that?
Hey, there you go.
Let's take a pop. What do you think it is? What was first Star Wars, if you had to guess?
Yeah, probably late 70s, I'd say.
Yeah, I want to say like 77.
In my unprofessional opinion.
Am I right? 77? Yay!
Look at that.
That movie at that time was fucking groundbreaking. It was amazing. Rick Baker did the special effects. And that was when I was a serious special effects nerd. Like when I was a little kid, I wanted to do special effects for the movies. Mm-hmm. Like that's how I became a giant fan of Rick Baker. That's why we have that American Werewolf in London in the lobby.
Oh, okay.
That's what that's
gotcha.
from.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like this guy named Pat McGee. It's funny because that's our second one. We have another one that's in the pool hall. And the reason why is that Pat McGee, who is this amazing special effects guy, he was also on the podcast back in the day. He made an American Werewolf in London that you could buy online. And I'm like, that would be the sickest thing for the studio ever. And then Rick Baker came and was a guest, and Rick Baker said the proportions are off. Like the wolf, the arms weren't as long. It was like shorter. It was like this and that. So Pat McGee listened, and he was like, shit, I got to make a better one. And so he made an even better one. And the new one is all hair. There's no synthetic hair. So it's all like, I think it's yak hair that they use. So it's like individual hairs are put in all over this wolf, and it looks fucking amazing.
It does look, that's the first thing that catches your eye walking in here, I'd say, out of everything. It's like, whoa.
That thing's sick.
You're not going to find one of those many other places.
That was my 100% my favorite horror movie. I love that movie because it's funny, it's terrifying. It has to do with the werewolf theme. To me is so amazing that you take some person who's like a good person, they're a friendly, nice guy, and you're like, hey man, you have to lock yourself in a cage, you're going to become a monster. And it's like, what the fuck are you saying? That doesn't make any sense. And they never want to believe, and it's going to happen. And in that one, that was the first time in one of those movies where you got to see like the advancements of special effects. Like, what year was American Werewolf in London? Let's guess that. I want to say 82. I'm going to say 82, 84. 81.
81.
I should have stuck with 82. back then when you had special effects, it was like kind of like they didn't move that good. Like they couldn't get their faces to move that good. But he had figured out a way to get your hands to grow. Like and he had to figure out a way to get things in his cheeks where his cheeks were bubbling.
Yeah.
And it's
awesome.
All real. None of it is CGI. And there's something about that uncanny valley when you're watching a CGI transformation. Your brain knows it's bullshit. For whatever reason, you're better off having it look fake but be a real thing, like John Carpenter's The Thing. You're better off with that than you are with CGI. For whatever reason. CGI just...
I mean, I think we just have
there
seen...
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, this is behind the scenes footage that I was going to show you.
Oh, wow.
That was pretty cool because it still moves in a really interesting way.
Yeah, but that's a physical thing moving. It's not a CGI. That does look exactly like the wolf in the lobby, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So, but back then they couldn't even get the thing to close its mouth. Look how sick that is.
That's awesome.
Imagine if you're in a subway and you see that fucking thing turning a corner. Oh my God. That scene was amazing. Where the poor guy was stuck in the subway and he was running from it, and then you see it at the bottom of the escalator stairs. That's like just those quick glimpses of a thing like that is so much more terrifying than some long CGI'd up monster killing someone scene. Like the American Werewolf in London was just a masterpiece. Landis just nailed it. It was the perfect horror movie, and it was funny. It's like there's funny moments in it.
Yeah, that's cool when you can add you can get humor in there too. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of my dog when I don't give him table scraps. You know, he's got that terrible face like that.
That thing was amazing. Yeah, but it's just the difference between digital and real, and you're gonna have to deal with that soon. Because I guarantee you, there's going to be some people that are making some CGI.
Oh, there are.
AI.
There already
out there?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
What is that? I'm sure there are.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with a lot just because, I'm doing anything social media related right now, or any internet presence I have right now is coming from me off the phone, just like before everything blew up. So I haven't invested the time to like look at everything circulating, but people like friends and family have sent me stuff, and some of it's pretty funny, but they've got all these different AI remixes of the song with different voices and overlaid different faces and all, and it's funny to see where it's going to go.
That is funny. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that. My daughter sent me some advertisement. She goes, "Did you do this advertisement?" I'm like, "Nope."
Yeah.
Nope, that's not really my voice.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
it is my
the
voice.
day after the day after things blew up, one of the towing companies had an ad on Facebook that had it wasn't really me.